Alright guys, so we're back for another Dokkan battle video. I just wanted to show this. I don't know that I show... Okay, so the Dokkan is... seems like they're really trying to push, like, I don't know, on social media and stuff like that. You guys saw they recently released sort of like a Dokkan Fest LR trailer. You know, they've been doing some different things here. Like, they've created some of these graphics and sort of these preview movies. Now, they typically do that for, like, Anniversary, but now even for, like, Tanabata, maybe, like, New Year's Worldwide Download Celebration, we could see more of these type of trailer things, so that's pretty good. Again, I don't think the end of Dokkan is anywhere in sight. It's going to end eventually, but I don't think anytime soon is when we're going to see that. So, today, of course, is going to be our 55% JANEMBA video. I do, of course, have our boy LR JANEMBA at 55%. From what I've seen of LR JANEMBA, I think he's probably one of the best units in the game. I think top 10 unit in the game easily for him is what we can say. I think this guy, people have been asking for LR JANEMBA for a long time. This is a very highly requested, like, oh, I can't wait for this character, LR JANEMBA, to come out. And it does seem to me like they delivered. I don't think, like, you know, Super 17 got an LR, and it's just, like, he's good, but he's just, like, really weird. It'll be interesting to see how this JANEMBA is going to look. I think his damage is probably not going to look that impressive, especially at 55%. But JANEMBA overall just should be very, very good. Now, remember, we are looking at him here at 55%. Remember, JANEMBA is a Big Bad Boss's character, so this is the only video I'm going to be doing of JANEMBA for a while. I'm not going to take him into any difficult content or anything until Big Bad Bosses is Link level 10. I just feel like there's no reason for me to do content on a Big Bad Boss's character until that Link is level 10. So we'll do the 55% video where I don't have any equips, where, you know, Links are level 1. We'll see how JANEMBA looks, and then I'll come back. Well, I guess I'm still gonna do my Rainbow Showcase for him, actually, where he's like Link level 5, stuff like that, probably, but I don't know. Alright, so anyway, let's just go ahead and hop in, and let's see how good 55% JANEMBA is. Alright guys, so real quick before we jump in, JANEMBA, unlike a lot of summonable, like legendary summonable LRs, JANEMBA's leader skill I think is very good. Right, he's buffing 2 categories, so here, let me just pull up my JANEMBA real fast. He's buffing 2 categories, Corroded Body and Mind and Movie Bosses, 4 key and 150% of stats. That's a good leader skill. I really wish all summonable LRs would start coming out with leader skills like 4 key, 150% of stats. I think is fine. And it is deserved. His categories aren't really that bad, because again, Movie Bosses is a team that's getting buffed constantly right now. I mean, Physical Final Form Cooler, I'm sure we're gonna get a new a new Golden Frieza at some point soon. You know, we'll see. Maybe they'll easy Beerus and Whis. There's potential there. But then Corroded Body and Mind, you're basically, essentially look at it as you're adding Goku Black, Baby, and Majin Vegeta to Movie Bosses, is basically how that works. Now, as of right now, Majin Vegeta's not the craziest, but, you know, he is still like a Saiyan character. He, you know, we'll see. He might work well with, like, Turles and the Brolys and stuff like that after he awakens. I think JANEMBA, not only is he going to be a dominant defensive unit, to the point where I'm actually considering giving him full dodge. I don't care. I think JANEMBA's already the best defensive unit in the game. I think I'm just going to give him full dodge, like, to help out any little bit, just to shave off any points of damage he might ever take, even with guard. I think it might be the right move with this JANEMBA to just completely go dodge with him, but we'll see. Let's go ahead and hop into an event, but again, this guy's looking pretty good so far. I like this JANEMBA. I think even his team is solid. Again, Goku Black right now kind of sucks, but in the future, Goku Black units, I'm sure, are going to be very good again. So, you know, we'll see. Alright guys, so here we are in an event. So remember, we're running LR JANEMBA's leader skill right here. The Movie Boss / Corroded Body and Mind category team. I think one weakness for this JANEMBA is going to be key, right? Because the thing about JANEMBA is he does not have any key buildup from his past for anything like that if he's in slot 1. When you basically do an attack in slot 2, you do get some key. But in a lot of the really difficult content, I don't know that you're not going to have the luxury to just put JANEMBA in slot 2, right? I think it's going to be a thing where a lot of times he's going to be in slot 1. I just foresee key being an issue with this guy in the true difficult content. I mean, that's not really a big deal because, again, he's a defensive juggernaut. I mean, this is 55. Dude, this guy is so crazy. Not goddamn Cooler. He's 55%, man. No links, level 1. Like, level 1 links. Dude, he's got, like, Big Bad Bosses, Metamorphosis. Like, he links up very well with Cooler. Here, let me just do this right here. He links up very well with Cooler, right? Metamorphosis, Fierce Battle, and what is that? Brutal Beatdown. I mean, we would have Big Bad Bosses active as well. Like, that's a lot of defense we're leaving on the table, right? Between Metamorphosis and Big Bad Bosses, that's 35% defense at level 10 links. 35% defense. Just from links right there. I think this Janemba, like, a comfortable, like, top 10 in, like, overall unit in the game. Again, I need to see more of him. 2.26, I mean, not the craziest attack set right there, but I think even at 55% defensively, it's going to be very difficult for this guy to take damage. Remember, he does also have this super attack nullification ability. He has a 50% chance to basically nullify enemies' Ki Blast super attacks. This is about 700,000 times better than Gogeta's nullification for several reasons. Number one, Gogeta could only use his nullification turn 4 later because you have to actually fuse into him. Number 2, Gogeta then has to 18 key super attack the enemy. Number 3, the enemy then has to survive, which is tough because that Gogeta does do a lot of damage. And then finally, let's push off this Janemba right here. And again, then finally, like fulfilling all those conditions, and then they have to melee super Gogeta after that. Again, it's just a very unrealistic thing you're just really not going to see, I think, for that Gogeta. But I mean, most of the game, most of the enemies in difficult content and stuff like that are using blast-based super attacks. So we should be able to fairly easily be able to dodge, you know, a lot of blast-based super attacks and like super battle road stages and stuff like that. Again, even though he has full guard and the enemy Ki Blast nullification and all this stuff, I'm still thinking I might go full dodge with this guy. Because, you know, I look at his super attack effects, I look at his damage, and I just feel like I myself am going to like this unit a lot more with him just maximizing his defensive ability. I don't know. It's tough because he definitely is an LR. Okay, so we get Fear and Faith right there, but I want to keep, like, Janemba right here for now. I just want to maximize this unit's defense, because I think this probably is the best defensive unit in the game. I think he does surpass EGL UI Goku, but that's just my initial thought on it. Let me wait until I've actually been able to use him quite a bit more. Alright, so chances are good we'll get a Blast super attack aimed at us right here, and we can see the nullification right away. Let's see. Nullify? Yep, here we go. Alright, 50% chance to nullify this. Yep, boom. Bitch! The little smirk! I love that, just whoop! And then, sorry, bucko! So then on top of that, the boy is guarding. It's just so crazy. Now, I know I'm running him in slot 1 a lot right now. Remember, he does build up attack, defense, and key and stuff like that in slot 2. But again, this is a defensive wall unit. For the most part, you probably do want to be running this guy in slot 1, right? Okay, so... And remember, the way his passive is worded, too. So he gets 2 key up to a max of 6, and 22% attack and defense up to a max of 66%. With each attack performed as the second or third attacker in a turn. So I believe if you had like additionals on this guy, you probably would be able to build up in that fashion. Again, this friend Janemba is also 55%. He does have some equips, and he does have a couple of link levels too, which I do not have. But let's go ahead and see what this Janemba right here is going to be able to go ahead and put down for us. So again, he's going to be able to build up a little bit right there. I guess we'll just attack Krillin right there. And then this should be a fairly big number for Janemba at full 24 key. Well, I don't know if I want to say fairly big, but we do have some support. We're linking up well with physical final form Cooler, right? Remember that Janemba works really well with like Cooler units. Janemba's going to work good with Turles units, Bojack units. Like Janemba has a really, really strong link set. Actually, what is the one link this LR Super Janemba has? What is legendary power instead of? Is it Nightmare? Yeah, Nightmare. Okay, typically Janemba units, Big Bad Bosses, Shocking Speed, Metamorphosis, Brutal Beatdown, Nightmare, Fear and Faith, and Fierce Battle. They took off Nightmare for legendary power, which is probably the one I would want them to take off, Nightmare or Brutal Beatdown. So that's pretty good for this Janemba right here. There was his attack set right there. So we did additional right there. So that Janemba right there would have built up 4 ki and 44% attack and defense from being in that middle slot. So that's not really too bad. Alright, so with Fat Janemba, we'd have Metamorphosis and Fierce Battle. We would, of course, also have, whatchamacallit, you know, that one link, Big Bad Bosses, if it was actually, you know. Wait here. I want to get the support type ability here. Yep, perfect. Okay, so now we'll get the support type buff here for Janemba. I really do wish that, this Janemba, Super Janemba, I wish he was a Rainbow Orb Changer. I think that would have made him quite a bit better if this Janemba was Rainbow Orb Changing. That would have allowed him to make the Tech Fat Janemba a lot better, right? And that's another reason I think, you know, Janemba's going to struggle for ki, is that, like, you know, you'd think you'd want to run him with Fat Janemba, and while it is a great defensive rotation and stuff like that, it's not like they're going to be sharing a lot of ki links, because Fat Janemba doesn't have ki links. Pretty good start so far. I think Janemba looks fine. Again, it's this, like, 55% level 1 links, stuff like that. Like, there's not really, like, we can't really take away much from this, I feel. Because just the way these these Big Bad Bosses characters, again, you got to get that to level 10, man. Big Bad Bosses, Metamorphosis. You know, we all know villain units got way better from the link level system, so it means you got to link level your villain units so they could take advantage of it. Alright, so now we're over here on the Transformation Boost theme / Terrifying Conquer. One criticism of Janemba, which definitely is true, is that he does not have a lot of category teams, right? Like, LR Janemba is only on 4 category teams right here. He did get Exploding Rage, because Exploding Rage has kind of become a category that has all of the different characters that have sort of like a Rage mode, right? We'll take a look at this Rage mode in this video. I mean, I don't know that it's really that big of a deal, this Rage mode thing of his. I think in, like, super long events you can get it, but I don't know if he's really going to be that impressive on that turn. We'll see. He does also have a special, like, animation when it ends, right? I do want to try and make sure to get that in the video here. Alright, so, yeah, okay, but anyway, the categories, right? It is true that he's not on many categories, but Transforming Boost is definitely, like, an elite, like, premium team. And Movie Bosses, if it's not yet there, it's going to be very shortly. Because, like, dude, look at Movie Bosses, right? Like, this, like, since Turles came out, you know, we got the LR Turles, we got Dokkan Fest Bojack, we got Dokkan Fest Janemba, Dokkan Fest Broly, and now LR Janemba. I expect a lot more Movie Bosses representation coming up in the near future, so we'll see. Alright, so let's rock Janemba in slot 2. Let's, you know, sort of have a couple of turns rocking him at slot 2. This way we could sort of see, you know, Janemba once he starts to build up a little bit. I mean, dude, 55%. He's at 160k defense. He guards, even in slot 1, he guards everywhere. It doesn't matter if you have him in slot 1, he's guarding before he attacks, after he attacks. The only place he does not guard is in slot 3. I don't know that that's really going to be so much of an issue, though. Because, I mean, this is a character you're going to want in slot 1 or 2 anyway. Alright, so every attack he does in slot 2 is going to build up for him right here. So we get 2 ki and 22% attack and defense extra right there. Again, I think Janemba's attack stats probably are not going to look that impressive for the most part. Unless you build that up first. I think once you start building that aspect up of him, that sort of like secondary passive part that he's got, I think that's when his damage is going to start to look super crazy. But before that, I don't know. I think for the most part, we're going to see Janemba, like, you know, struggling for ki, not really hitting the numbers you'd want to see from, like, a top-tier summonable LR. I really don't think we're going to see, like, you know, massive god-level attack sets from him, unfortunately, right? Not to say that he's bad or anything, because, again, he's the best defensive unit in the game. He doesn't need to be coming out of the gate doing 8 million attack sets as well. It's going to be very difficult for this guy to take damage. Now, we have him here with Buhan, right? Now, as of right now, again, my Janemba's, you know, Big Bad Bosses is level 1. But, like, this would be a rotation where we would have... No, I don't think we would have all 7 links active with this rotation. Because once Bootanks transforms, some of his links change, right? I think I'm going to do this right here. This is still a really, really good rotation right here, right? Like, we're going to be able to see some good stuff. We're in slot 2, so he's going to build up again. 176k defense, huh? But Buhan and JANEMBA really are like going to be a solid duo on extreme physical and transformation boost. Like, they are going to dominate on these two teams if you put the two of them next to each other, right? Again, Buhan is still very good. I've said I still really like Buhan, but I just feel like he needs help, right? Like, Buhan needs characters that could share a lot of links with him, be strong, be helpful with him. This JANEMBA counts. Honestly, I think this JANEMBA's introduction into the game makes Buhan better. Okay, so there we go. So now JANEMBA has had 2 of his abilities active, or 2 of his like sort of stats buffs active, right? He got 4 key and 44% attack and defense basically in total right now from that portion of his passive. So let's get to this last turn right here. Is it with each attack performed? I think the buff will kick in after his attack is done. So we're going to do this attack right here on this next turn. I don't think this is actually going to be JANEMBA fully built up. I actually would like to test it. Let me test that. I'm very curious. I know exactly how to easily test this too. All right, so this is going to be another good rotation. Oh, we could do the active skill. I guess let's do the active skill here since we can do it. Maybe we could try and get the KO screen for him. Sure, let's do this. Let's go and pop JANEMBA's active skill. I mean, yeah, it's past. We could do his active skill and do the rage mode. Past turn 6 when HP is 66% or more. All right, so now JANEMBA's in the, sort of rage mode here. Now, I'm going to be very curious to see. So, on his super attack effects in his rage form, he has, like, the same ability as, like, UI Goku and Evolution Blue Vegeta. But it has temporarily in there. I know it doesn't carry over between characters, right? So, the first JANEMBA does the attack. The second one does not do guaranteed crits. I would love to see with thorough testing if, like, this JANEMBA right here would double super, is the second super going to be a guaranteed crit? That would take a lot of tests. It's not going to be that relevant, but I still would be curious to know. He does get additional 1 key per key sphere as well. So I think for the most part, it probably is going to be relatively easy for this guy to be getting that 18 key super attack. I think for the most part, we're probably going to see that pop pretty often. All right, so let's go ahead and see his rage mode. Now, JANEMBA is a summonable LR. He does have a good chance to crit on these, right? So this rage mode, this probably is going to end up being the best rage mode in the game. It's hard to say for sure. I mean, rage mode is pretty much the same thing as, like, Great Apes and stuff like that. His little sword thing. Okay, so I think the animation where, like, the sword sort of breaks, that's going to play as soon as the turn is done, because these rage modes typically only last for 1 turn, right? These aren't, like, 2-turn, like, things usually. Okay? So that crit was from the super attack effect, because obviously minus 55%. Yeah, and then it wears off and then crumbles to dust. Yeah, interesting way for them to sort of, like, get all these different animations in the game. Okay, so now we've got this. Okay, so we're probably just going to honestly finish him off with this JANEMBA right here. Wait, does he have extra key? Did he build up his passive during that? I think he did. Am I crazy? I'm going to have to double check the footage on that, but I think he got the last stack of his passive while he was in that form. I'm pretty sure he did. Again, I'll examine the tape, so to speak, and I'm going to check. I think I'll probably just check immediately as soon as we get this attack in with JANEMBA right here. But I think it kicked in. I think his passive activated in his rage mode. Again, I feel like for the most part, that's probably not going to matter too much. But it could, because it means, like, if you're going into the GT Legendary Goku event, or, like, early in the event, JANEMBA's not going to be able to get touched anyway. And then by the time he could potentially take damage, you pop your active skill, boom, and then you can go ahead and build up for him. Honestly, a 5 million attack stat right here, with he's untouchable pretty much even at 55%, right? Guard, and, he's got the super attack nullification. Dude, this JANEMBA is crazy. Let me just quickly double check if JANEMBA really built. I think he built up in that rage mode. Let me see. We'll do one more run, then we'll also go into an extreme Super Battle Road stage as well. Alright, so we're just looking at more at JANEMBA. I went back and double checked, and I'm just a Dumbo. Yeah, he did not build up at all while in his giant mode, because I was going to say that could be very good utility, but I just sort of like I didn't get a good look during the first one. Okay, so this is, again, sort of a good example of what I was talking about. So we've got a lot of support on rotation, right? I mean, JANEMBA's getting 5 key support. In terms of links, we only have Metamorphosis and Fierce Battle active, right? Like, I mean, he does have Shocking Speed and Fear and Faith, but the units we have next to him, we're not able to get that. But we're still not able to get an 18-key super attack. Again, we'll sort of run him in slot 2 here. We'll go ahead and let him build up a little bit. See the damage he will do. I do need to make sure to let him build up that full passive of his, and then we'll get a couple of rotations. But, I mean, we're seeing the general level of attack sets that this JANEMBA is going to be at, right? And then again, we're going to go into a stage of Extreme Super Battle Road. See the damage? Like, that's really bad. That's really pathetic for a summonable L. I think even at 55%, like, you know, anywhere hovering around that 2 million attack set is just like, no bueno, dude. Again, I think even at 55%, he's pretty much untouchable, though. Like, that does matter. But yeah, let's just keep going. You know, let's slowly let him build up some of that key. What's funny is he did get buffed quite a bit, too, because when they initially tweeted him, he got 1 key when he attacked in slot 2 or 3. Now it's 2 key, right? So that helps out quite a bit. So, you know, you can get him fully built up, you know, by turn 6 or 7. You know, that's not really going to help you too much in, like, Super Battle Road stages, Battlefield, stuff like that. But for, like, the GT Legendary Goku event, you probably are going, like, 15 turns most of the time, so... Okay. So, I think I'm going to transform with Buhan right here. Let's just go ahead and get Buhan to do this transformation. Again, him and JANEMBA, they share Big Bad Bosses, Shocking Speed, Metamorphosis, Fierce Battle, and Legendary Power. I believe they have 5 links together. These are 2 of, I think, the top 10 units in the game together that share 5 links. Oh, by the way... Buhan heals at the start of turn, and they're healing from the Metamorphosis link as well. So you're going to be regenning a lot of HP, which does, you know, work well with JANEMBA's active skill, right? Again, I don't think JANEMBA's active skill is really the craziest thing ever. I also don't really think it matters too much, like, towards his kit. Wow, we really can't get an 18 key again, huh? Okay. Well, I mean, you know, it is what it is. It's fine, I guess. 170k defense at 55%. That's the thing that's been, like, JANEMBA's defense is so high. And, you know, remember, this is JANEMBA without Big Bad Bosses, too, dude. Like, when I get that Big Bad Bosses link to level 10, though, this boy is going to be, he is going to be looking quite goddamn good. Let's just go ahead and say that. Alright, yeah, so let's just go ahead and put this damage on Broly, whatever. Damage. Let's see what our boy JANEMBA can do right here. Yeah, 2.28. Again, it's getting better because he is building up. I mean, this is 2 of the attacks he does need to do right there. Oh, there we go. With each attack performed. Oh, I wasn't looking. Damn it. I should have watched, but he should have fully built up right there, right? I believe JANEMBA has fully built up. I'm going to have to, again, check the footage right there just to double check, but I believe JANEMBA is now fully built up, and additionals in that slot should activate it. So that's why additionals can really be good with this guy. Man, I guess because he works that way, there is an argument for additionals, right? Because, like, if you can get JANEMBA turn 1 to at least, like, you know, additional attack and build up 4 key and 44% attack and defense from that passive, and then, you know, even then from then on, the rest of the event, you know, just sort of just rock him in slot 1. Even just the 2 buffs would be enough. But, again, I consider this JANEMBA to be, like, the best defensive unit in the game or something like that. So, like, I feel like a lot of times I do want to rock him in slot 1. Again, he should be fully built up here. Oh my god, that defense. 222k, huh? This is a crazy rotation for JANEMBA, dude. This is a big boy rotation. Remember, he's getting buffed by Cooler. We have nearly all of his links active because of Buhan. We have his full passive built up as well. I'm going to use a key up item just to get him the 24 key. Let's see what JANEMBA does on this turn. 55%. And again, it's like, you know, the JANEMBA Buhan combo, if you have to go through a long event, you're not taking damage with that combo, dude. Like, you could rock JANEMBA in slot 1 and Buhan in slot 2, you got nothing to worry about at all. Like, JANEMBA, again, it's going to be a ridiculous situation for JANEMBA to take damage. 5 mil. 55% 5 million, and he's untouchable? That's pretty good, dude. That's impressive, actually. He got up to 5 million. That's with his full passive built up. But, like, again, you can't hurt this guy. Like, even at 55%, he guards with 200k plus defense. And if they do Ki Blast super attacks, which a lot of the game does, you got a 50% chance of just straight nullifying that. Again, one of the hardest stages in the game right now is Movie Boss's Extreme Category Super Battle Road. And JANEMBA's going to cuck that stage because he guards and every enemy in that stage does a beam super. So he has a 50% chance to just nullify all those super attacks. I'm liking what I'm seeing from this JANEMBA, man. I feel very comfortable. Like, if I had to rate him right now, I probably would go UI Goku 1, Vegeta 2, I think Vegito 3, S-tier Vegito 3, Tech Gogeta 4, I'd probably go LR Broly 5, and then JANEMBA 6, I think. I like JANEMBA better than S-tier UI. I like him better than Buhan. I like him better than Turles. I just think he's untouchable. I think the argument that JANEMBA is on no teams, which is bad, is valid, right? Or at least he's on limited teams. Because, again, I think Movie Bosses and Transformation Boost are very good teams, right? That's like Tapion has 4 categories, but like you're not running Tapion on like any of those teams. Like none of them are like premium teams, right? I do think Movie Bosses and Transformation Boost are though. So I mean that's looking pretty good for JANEMBA. Let's go into an extreme Super Battle Road stage, and let's see how JANEMBA sort of handles the pressure. I think we'll probably just go into extreme class, extreme Super Battle Road, I think is what I'm going to do right here. I'm going to do a separate video on taking him into Movie Bosses, because that stage, I feel like a lot of global players, you know, you guys have extreme Super Battle Road on global. You guys are going to compare the amount of damage units will take in there to this JANEMBA. So I don't want to take JANEMBA right now into the Movie Bosses category stage, because that's like, again, those are some of the hardest hitting enemies in the game, I think. Alright guys, I thought about it, and we are going to go into Movie Bosses Extreme Super Battle Road, because again, these are like some of the toughest enemies in the game. We got him turn 1. Alright, well, this is the test right here. I do not know how he's going to fare at 55%. He should do fine, but it's difficult in here, dude. This is not... Right, and okay, this is perfect, right? I guess, technically, like if I was going for a no-item run, I could do this. Golden Frieza does tank enough. I could get away with JANEMBA in slot 2 to build him up. I could, actually. I think JANEMBA and Golden Frieza together could be a good rotation. It's like, I feel like running damage dealers in this stage as floaters is the way to go for the no-item run. I'm glad JANEMBA's going to be needed for this no-item run. This stage is going to be brutal. We're going to put JANEMBA in slot 1, because, I mean, this is the big dick, big boy spot right here, right? The other thing, too, is that, you know, remember, Broly's 170 to Movie Bosses, yeah? Yep, double 170 Movie Bosses, okay. So, I mean, here's JANEMBA. Slot 1, the big dick spot, no support, stuff like that. Let's see how JANEMBA does. I think he's going to take some damage here without things like Big Bad Bosses. Oh. Please nullify this. Okay, that's good. It's really good. Hey, JANEMBA, you want to nullify? Okay. Sorry, Krillin. Nope. Okay. We're taking a lot of damage. Again, I warned people that these were the strongest enemies in the game. Now, you know, I guess, man, running him with Golden Frieza maybe is not the best idea. Because you know what Golden Frieza is not? Golden Frieza is not a Big Bad Boss's character is the issue. Because I'm thinking at my level 10 Link's JANEMBA, right? You know, going in here, pop Movie Bosses, you know, on top of him being rainbowed and then some defensive equips, which I'm giving him. And, you know, JANEMBA, we can cut that, you know, 60k he was taking right there down to double digits. Actually, I know it seems like, oh my god, JANEMBA sucks, he got torn in half. But that could have been way worse. Like 60k right there. And we saw that super attack nullification kick in. That's sick, dude. The thing that, like, is better, like, it's basically, you could think of it as just a worse dodge, right? Because a lot of characters have high chance to dodge attacks, including super. Whereas JANEMBA just only basically has high chance to dodge beam super attacks. But the thing is, you get that sick animation. I love that. That shit is so cool. All right, this is GG. All right, so I do think Link level 10, JANEMBA, rainbowed with defensive equips. I'm definitely giving JANEMBA the gold EX skill orb with defense and dodge. Absolutely. I'm definitely giving him a defensive bronze equip. I really might give him full dodge, man. Because, like, his role, for me, is always going to be defense. I think he's the best defensive unit in the game. I would rather move forward with him doing, like, what a lot of people would consider, like, mid-damage or a mid-potential system, but be better defensively. I think I'm going to do that. I think I am going to give him full dodge. I know it's, oh my god, you are the worst Dokkan player of all time. You're bad at a bubble popping game. But it's like, dude, like, sure, but I know what it is that I want to set out to accomplish, and JANEMBA is going to do that. All right, let's just go into normal extreme class Super Battle Road right here, is what we're going to do. Because, again, this is like, I guess, a realistic difficulty stage. The new extreme stages, some of them in particular, like Universal Survival Saga movie bosses, it's not really an accurate representation of what a lot of these characters can do, dude. Like, you know, UI Goku and Evolution Blue Vegeta are taking like 200k from normals in there, right? So it's very difficult to just like blanket look at it and go, oh, this unit sucks. It's like, well, it's not very easy to look good in there. I guess I'll just rock JANEMBA right here. As far as int, I think we'll just bring Cell. Cell will link up well with JANEMBA. And then here we could just bring anything. I could bring another JANEMBA. I could bring Physical Cooler. Let's bring Garlic Jr. Garlic Jr. can work well in Extreme Class, Extreme Super Battle Road. Yep, we'll go like that. We can use these same items. All right, so let's test out how our boy JANEMBA is going to do in here. Again, this is slot 7. All right, so now we're over here on Extreme Class. Let's go ahead and see how our boy JANEMBA fares. I guess I'm not going to get any support. Okay, Goten has been debuffed, right? So we do want to keep that in mind. I'm not going to get the support with JANEMBA just because I want to compare. We can compare the difficulties of this stage and the movie boss stage if I don't give him support. So I'm not going to give him the support right here. All right, let's see how JANEMBA fares in Extreme Class, you know, with the guard. We also have the beam, 17k. Wow, look at the difference between the two stages. At 55%, that's obviously very good. At 100% Link level 10, it will be impossible for JANEMBA to take damage in here. And then, of course, remember that most of the enemies are just tossing out beam attacks, generic beam attacks. That's the thing. JANEMBA is a Super Battle Road killer because all of these enemies in Super Battle Road, for the most part, are just throwing, you know, 2016, like, era Kamehamehas at us. Right, these are not like, you know, big advanced, like long super attacks, combos and melees and stuff. They're just doing like a generic Kamehameha. So, all right, I feel like we took a very good look at our boy JANEMBA. We were able to see a lot of what JANEMBA was able to do. Let's go ahead and take a look at his details now. Let me know what you guys think of JANEMBA, but, you know, once we get him link leveled, once, you know, he's rainbowed, dude, I don't know. I think this JANEMBA... I still, at the moment, think he could possibly be better than LR STR Broly. I think the chance exists that this is a better LR than LR STR Broly's EZA, which the fact that I'm even, like, considering it in my head shows that they were successful with how they designed this guy. I think he is very, very good. All right, so this is Fiery Evil Heart Super JANEMBA. His leader skills, Corroded Body and Mind, or Movie Bosses category, key 4 and 150% of stats. His super attack is the Savage Skewer, which does colossal damage to the enemy and lowers enemy defense. His 18 key super attack is the Hellgate, which does mega colossal damage to the enemy and greatly lowers defense. So, I mean, that's really like the one weakness you could say of this unit. His super attack effects are dog shit. That's it. They're just worthless. But his defense and his damage is... I think his damage will be okay. It's just not, like, summonable, like 2021 summonable LR level, right? Although, when he's fully built up, that's when he's going to start looking crazy, right? And you got him next to, like, Buhan or Garlic Jr. or Final Form Cooler or one of these characters. He's going to look super... Like, dude, like Janemba works really well with Cooler. We're going to get LR Final Form Cooler. Like, that's going to happen. You know, what... like, this movie bosses is going to be good. This Janemba is going to age very well. Because look at the other Super Janembas. They're fine, you know, 500 years later. His passive skill, Evil Demon, gives him 120% attack and defense at the start of turn. He guards all attacks as the first or second attacker in the turn. That obviously does activate before he even attacks, which is... If it didn't, this guy would be heavily nerfed. He would not be in top 10 unit in the game discussion. Being dominant defensively in slot 1 is very rare, and this Janemba can do that, right? Then he gets an additional 2 ki, up to a max of 6, and 22% attack and defense up to a max of 66%, with each attack performed as the second or third attacker in the turn, right? And then he has a high chance, 50%, of nullifying enemy Ki Blast super attacks, which we saw on display many times throughout this video. It is incomparable to even mention Gogeta's melee nullification to Janemba's blast nullification. You will see Janembas all over the game. Gogeta's you will see like as often or only a little bit more often than like AGL LR Gohan's active skill, right? That's Gogeta's nullification is on that level, I think. Janemba has an active skill, Rage, which you could use starting from turn 6 and beyond, and 66% HP or more. Unlike Gogeta's not really on like a team where he's healing a lot, and like, you know, he's got links that heal him and shit like that, or the Goku and Vegeta, right? But the thing about like Janemba and Buhan and some of these characters is they are going to be healing. So like, you know, you very easily could enter a turn under 66% HP, you know, Boo-Tanks heals, then you use your active skill, transform with Boo-Tanks, and then, you know, bam, you're able to use Janembas. Because what percent HP does Buhan have to be above? Is it above 50% for him to absorb Ultimate Gohan? I think Buhan just needs to be above 50%. But let me just quickly confirm that. Yeah, 50%. So you could be like at like 52%, transform with Boo-Tanks, and then after you transform, he's then going to heal again. Well, I guess you'd have to be at, what, 56%? Like, you know, then you'll heal the 10% from Buhan as well. You guys get what I'm saying. And then that will enter his Rage mode. We'll go over the Rage mode in a second. Actually, we'll just do it now. So then, you know, when he's in his Rage mode, his super attack is the Demon Blade Flash, which does destructive damage to the enemy and has a 50% chance of performing a crit temporarily. The way this is going to work, I believe, is... I don't know. I think it might just be that. It might be UI Goku and Evolution Blue Vegeta's ability, but it's like each Janemba counts separately, right? Like all three in the rotation. So I think that's why they added that temporarily wording in there, was just to help clarify that while he does get 50% crit for the turn when he supers, it's just that initial Janemba. I probably will try and test that at some point, or someone could test it out for me. But if you know, this Rage Janemba, if he double supers, is it always a guaranteed crit? I think it will be, but I'm not sure. Again, but it's not going to be like the Janemba in slot 1 double supers and then all of them slot 2 and 3 crit as well. It's just, if an additional super, I think will always be a crit by this Janemba, which is good, right? So for the Demon Blade Flash, his 12 key, he's got that high chance of performing a crit temporarily. And then for his 18 key, Rakshasa's Claw or whatever, you know, he has the high chance of doing a crit temporarily. He does destructive damage, but that's just what all like Great Apes and Rage 1 characters and stuff do. Passive skill, Endless Hell, he gets an additional 1 key per key sphere obtained. So that is definitely a good ability to have for our boy LR Janemba. 12 key multiplier, 150%, 24 key multiplier is 200%, which is good. Looking at EZAs, there's this Janemba is probably a character that any of these EZAs he could participate in, he'll be very good. As a guarding character that can nullify blast supers, let's go through it, right? So we have the Goku, Gohan, and Goten EZA, which JANEMBA will be able to dominate in. There's the STR Gogeta EZA. STR Gogeta, the Stardust Breaker is not an 18. It's not like a blast. I don't think it's a blast. I think it's like a combo attack, the Soul Punisher that he does. So he wouldn't be able to nullify that, but he'd still guard. In Gogeta, right, as a combo. So is AGL Super Vegito. A lot of these characters he's fighting don't do just like blasts. The Int LR Gohan does. But like, dude, you're talking about so many. Like, you could talk, as long as JANEMBA, like, I think can be a part of the leader skill, right? Like, a lot of these teams, you know, Int Spirit Bomb Sword Trunks, AGL Super Vegito, Int Gogeta, STR Gogeta, you know, the Family Kamehameha. Like, this JANEMBA can help you earn a lot of Zenny. He's going to be a great option for all of these EZAs, right? And then finally, our boy JANEMBA is on 4 category teams. That's definitely his major weakness, is his limited amount of categories. Although, again, I would argue 2 of them are really top-tier teams. Movie Boss, which they're just really sucking off lately. And I think they're just going to continue to do that until the 2022 Dragon Ball Super movie comes out. So, Movie Bosses is good for sure. Then we have Transformation Boost as well. Y'all don't need me to talk about this team. You know how good it is, right? Kuroda Body and Mind definitely does suck. There's such limited characters on this. I mean, a Dokkan Fest baby, you know, new Goku Black units, new Majin Vegeta units. Those characters are going to happen. Plus, you know, currently in Dragon Ball Heroes, there's masked Goku Black. He's masked. Then he goes Super Saiyan Rose, then he goes Super Saiyan 2 Rose, then he goes Super Saiyan 3 Rose. So that right there is 4 cards. You just Mask Goku Black, Rose Mask Goku Black, Super Saiyan 2 Rose Mask Goku Black, Super Saiyan 3 Mask Rose Goku Black. Like, those are all separate characters for this category, right? So that'll be interesting to see when they finally start showing up in Dokkan. And then finally, he's on the Exploding Rage category. Looks like all of the Rage characters are going to end up on this category, all that, like, the Rage one. It does make sense, right? So, like, the Vegeta and Bulma card is on here. You know, the Beerus cards are on here. Like, all that mechanic is, like, Namek Goku is on here, right? Looks like that mechanic is always going to be represented. Oh, there he is. I was going to say, wait, Namek Goku is on this category, right? Of course he is. Yeah, but that's good. So people were asking, like, well, why is JANEMBA on this category? It's just because he does that, like, they sort of made that a Rage thing. So it's like the powerful comeback category. I think every character that revives will be on that. Exploding Rage, every character that has a Rage mechanic will be on that. And then, like, Transformation Boost, every character that mid-battle transforms is on that, right? So it does make sense. So there's LR Super JANEMBA, man. 55%. Let me know what you guys think. I think, even though I don't have him in my personal top 5, I would probably put him at 6, I think, is my thoughts after finishing this video. I still would say he's, like, a top 5, like, unit in the game, like, worthy title, right? Like, so if you'd say, like, I don't know, like, you're the best unit in the game could be, like, a title, then you got, like, top 5, you know, then, like, top 10, maybe, like, top 20, like, something like that. I think JANEMBA is, like, top 5 unit discussion. Like, you know, if you think JANEMBA's better than STR EZA Broly, like, I see points you could argue about that, right? This JANEMBA is very good. I think he is much better in-game than he looked on paper. Like, I knew he was good when I saw his info last night, but he feels even better to me in-game. So, JANEMBA is good. This guy is really, really good.